Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the 25th race in the 2020 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. We're gearing up for 65 laps of action in the second race in the round of 8, and I am joined once again by my man, Mr. Vince Freeze.
Here we are in Atlanta. We are definitely getting to the end of the season. Middle race of the round of 8. And I also have some silly season news. Before we get to that, I'm going to let Zach go to the starting grid.
Indeed, silly season news continuing to ramp up here at the end of 2020. But first, your starting lineup: Audra Baranowskis and Jesse Turner, the front row. Last 2 weeks ago, winner Donovan Cage at Papyrus, now 4 wins on the season, 5 in his career, both records right now. He's next to Sam Young, who was fastest in practice. Row 3, Toby McCoy and Andrew Rich. Row 4, Hillary Sanchez and Colt Hudson. And in row 5, Max Anderson and Priya McShane. Vince, I believe we've got some silly season on the JTG Daughtery Racing Team.
Yep, JTD will be fielding 2 trucks in 2021, as well as other silly season news. Go Fast Racing will plan on a return, set to field 1 truck if a driver is found. Jack James and Thorsport agreed terms. James is set to drive the 13 Ford in 2021, as you see in 2020. Team Penske will change here. Dillon Young moves to a 22, while Vince Freeze will drive the 12 in 2021. And Sam Young, as always, back in the 29. SHR announced Brad Lewis to drive the number 4 in the Jerky Pro Truck Series season for 2021. Lewis was referred to the team by Digital Storm Cup Series driver Zachary Fitzwater Sr.
And that is it for our silly season news. On the truck side, we've got tons of news to talk about tomorrow in the pre-race show for the Digital Storm Cup Series race. Race history-wise here, 2017 winner was Dillon Young in a 2-caution flag event, lap 15, lap 48. 20 on the lead lap, 25 finished. That was a 49-lap affair. 2018, we had 1 caution on lap 2. Dillon Young also won that race. And in 2019, we had a caution on lap 6. Henry Sanford took the checkered flag. That was actually his first career win, as this race has, in years past, been the second race of the season. But this year, they changed it up on the schedule. They've put it in the playoffs. They've put it at the end of the year. And we'll see what kind of different racing we get with a bit of a cooler atmosphere to the track. Clear weather, 57 degrees. Fuel windows, 31 to 33 laps. And we should see about 3 seconds of fall off at full tire wear.
Drivers, start your engines!
Command to start engines has been given. Benjamin Ice was fastest in happy 20 minutes. He starts 15th. And now to your playoff standings. After Papyrus, Andrew Rich leads the points. Carter Freeze in second, Sam Young third, Yael Carrillo fourth with the win from Donovan Cage. Nobody is locked in right now. That could change with one of the 8 drivers getting a win today. Cole Baker, 5 points back from Carrillo. Keith Rich, 11. Dwayne, 12. And Ellison, 14 points back. We've still got 2 drivers who have not won a race, Vince, in the playoffs. Bishop got eliminated, of course, after the round of 12. But Keith Rich, Sam Young, they've yet to win. And, man, Sam Young is in a truck that's won here twice by older brother Dillon Young. Could Sam Young put the 29 truck in victory lane here for the 3rd time and the first time for himself?
We're about to find out as they enter 3 and 4. Audra Baranowskis and Jesse Turner are front row. We've got to look out for row 2. Cage looking to go back-to-back as well. As we're green flag in Atlanta.
And already some 3 wide, and we'll bring up the ticker just to show you guys the speeds of these trucks down the straightaway and then how much they're going to lift here into the corner. $180 down to about 168. And that is the kind of racing you're going to see here today, as Donovan Cage will lead the first lap.
Donovan Cage, like I said, we're going to go back to back, and the draft right now will play a big role. As the tires fall off, you won't be able to see that. These first 3 laps are crucial on these fresh tires.
Toby McCoy will fall in line in second, Ibrahimian in third, as Johnny Gardner has already moved his way into the top 5. McCoy will make the move for the lead, as they're still 3 wide behind them.
Our guy, Dillon Young, started 4th. He's dropped like a rock. No one will be seen in the top 20.
And it looks like not much of a top side here this afternoon.
Toby McCoy to the lead. Benjamin Ice underneath Donovan Cage looking for second. That's in happy hour.
It looks like starting on the inside line was a pretty big deal here so far this afternoon. And despite having to lift, we're seeing a lot of cycling from front to back, as Baranowskis has already made it back to the bottom. She is in 5th.
A little bit of plate action here, a little super speedway type shuffle early. But I think as the tires wear, we'll get some more of a calmer event, as McCoy and Ice and Cage, top 3, still looking heavy.
And there's Michael Markle. He's going to make it 3 wide for position here. That is for 4th place, as Carter Friesen is eyeing a move into the top 5.
Carter Friesen looking underneath Catano, and Benjamin Ice looking a little bit racy underneath McCoy, a little bit for a second. It looks like the pack is separated from the back as well.
Yeah, they're starting to double it down from 3 wide. Speaking about Lucas Catano, Junior Motorsports is really giving this man till the end of the season to improve his points position. He enters today 27th in the points. And rumors are if he can get top 20, Junior Motorsports will bring him back for next season. Of course, Catano getting the win at Memphis. If it wasn't for that win, he likely wouldn't be brought back at all. But he's got to get his point standings up, as Ellison, who started 39th, and Carrillo, who started 41st, are up into the top 20.
That inside line you were talking about, that aforementioned inside line, it seems like it's working. Ellison needs a run. Same with Carrillo. They need to make a statement here as we get closer to that ultimate round of Texas coming at the end of the season, especially Pensacola next week, where anything can happen.
Anything can happen at Pensacola, and we've seen some pretty wild races in the Jerky Pro Truck Series. So we entered this round with 5 rookie drivers and 3 wholehearted veterans. Andrew Rich is considered a rookie for the Truck Series because he has never ran in it full-time before. But you could technically say he's a veteran because of his Cup Series experience. So it's kind of an even split on the technicality. It's a 5-3. But the veteran drivers have so far been outshined by the rookies this season, what with drivers like Rich getting 3 wins, Friesen getting 3 wins, Cole Baker with 2 wins, Carrillo with 2 wins. There have been some pretty big rookie breakouts in 2020.
It's good to see those rookies doing well. I think it creates the Truck Series almost diversity in the series. You have the veterans who will always be the veterans, like Cage, who's looking for 6 wins if he can get it done today. And then you guys have like Carter Friesen, like you were saying, that can spice it up. But at the front, new leader,
Michael Markle to the lead, as tire wear has really kicked in now, 9 laps into the race. As the field is slowly but surely spreading out. You see the lap times have almost hit a second already off the draft times. Benjamin Ice, 2nd place. Hillary Sanchez in 3rd. Baranowskis, Friesen round out the top 5. As look out now, here comes Toledo, LJ Toledo that is, Ellison, and Edwin Mendez.
Yeah, it looks like that inside line still proven to be pivotal, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be some diversity as we get to that next stop, as these guys will spread out that first stop. And as you said, that fuel window, unless you have to come down earlier than 31, it's a one-stop race.
Sam Young, I'm seeing back into the top 20, running on that bottom. So starting fourth hurt him at first, but he's managed to get it back to the bottom lane. We'll see if he can move it towards the front as Friesen and LJ Toledo will go 3 wide with Hillary Sanchez for second. And this view right here just really shows you how much grip each line has. You can see the very top has pretty much nothing, and the bottom's just got that little extra bite compared to the bottom.
James Ellison, Cody Rhodes on the bottom. Gain speed, gain handling versus the top, like you were saying. It's almost like an ice in there. Hillary Sanchez looks underneath Rhodes, trying to get back on the inside lane.
And watching Friesen and Ellison there through 3 and 4, Friesen's actually making the middle work pretty well in 3 and 4. You can see Ellison, though, with a bit of a better edge in 1 and 2. As you like to say, Vince, ebbing and flowing.
Yeah, the old ebb and flow is back, especially at a 1.5 miles. It seems like the 1.5 mile tracks. I mentioned the ebb and flow when we first raced at Charlotte when I started broadcasting, and it seems like it's real as Markle's under threat from Toledo.
And as LJ Toledo goes for the lead, I've noticed a bit of a gap in the pack, and I'm wondering if someone got the wall or checked up, because we are not under caution, but there is a decently sized gap back here from Matthew Logan to RJ Bishop. And Andrew Rich, Yael Carrillo, Cole Baker are in this group, and that could hurt them. Thankfully, it's trucks, and even with the tire wear, these guys should be able to draft back up to the pack before pit stops, as we're only on lap 15.
Yeah, we're right there at that halfway mark for the fuel window. We'll see what happens now, as the tires will probably get to 3 seconds by the end of lap 31, 32.
There's Keith Rich in the 21. Sam Young, 29. Here's the winner from last season, Henry Sanford. As Jeremiah Dwayne has cracked his way to the top 5. He's racing up here with Friesen and Ellison. So far, the top 3 playoff drivers on the day. As LJ Toledo continues to lead. We've seen some good speed from LJ here and there over the course of the season, Vince. Not yet able to get it in the victory lane. Could today be the day for the 52 team?
52 team was strong. They've been strong everywhere we've went to. I mean, plate races, 1.5 miles, dirt, road courses. It's just they haven't had the, I guess, execution, whether it be on pit road or long run speed to get that W. But we'll see. A lot of people are hungry behind as well. Look at Hillary Sanchez. Nothing this season. Hasn't done much and is shocking the field right now.
LJ Toledo comes in 15th in the points with 2 top 5s and 6 top 10s as he chases Michael Markle for 13th in the points. And Markle comes in with a 22-point gap over Ibrahimium, 23 over LJ Toledo. So now those two racing for the lead as Ellison's side by side with the aforementioned Hillary Sanchez, who has had a abysmal season. If that 7 team does not get their point standings up by season end, they could find themselves not competing in 2021.
And we have the battle for the lead as Markle takes it. But we've talked about Ellison, it seems like numerous times. We're repeating ourselves. Has a quick truck, but something about execution these last 15 weeks hasn't happened. Can he finally deliver?
And I just want to delve into the whole, why would the 7 truck not participate if they don't do well? Because here in the Jerky Pro Truck Series and in the Digital Storm Cup Series, expanding or shrinking your operation is dependent on success. And if you are a single team, a single car or truck operation, what happens is if you perform badly, you're on this kind of carousel of single car teams. If you do bad one season, another single car team gets a chance the next season, and then those single car teams do bad and you get to come back the year after. And that is how we do it here.
I believe Logan Gentry, the 97 truck, is also...
it is very in danger, and that 97 truck finished second in the championship last year and actually acquired the most points over the season last year. And they've just had a terrible run with Gentry behind the wheel. That team likely missing Larry Hagan, who performed very well in 2019.
There you go. It's just the ebb and flow of this series, right? You got to be at the top, but you also have to understand that if you're not at the top and you're down at the bottom, it's just the way the sport works, right? Some days and some seasons you're on it. Some seasons it's see you later.
Indeed, and there's actually rumors because of how Priya McShane in the 19 and Greg Torres in the 20 have been doing. Those two trucks might not even be on the grid next year, despite being part of the powerhouse Joe Gibbs Racing.
Joe Gibbs is one of the most cutthroat organizations on the field. I mean, you either got to put up or shut up, because that's how most teams. Look at Junior, right? Junior and Hendrick, same way. Look at Tano, he's in the same boat. Put up or shut up. And that's how most of these top teams are with the culture they want to build for championships. Marco still leads out front.
And I think Junior Motorsports has been pretty quiet regarding James Ellison because they're waiting to see if he makes the Final Four or not. Despite wanting winning drivers and whatnot, Catano's scenario is completely different from Ellison's. But Ellison had a hot streak earlier this year, and I think Junior Motorsports perhaps waiting to see if he can find that hot streak here at year's end as the 54 of Nate Rogers finds himself in the top 5.
Not mistaken, Nate was way back there when the packs got separated. He definitely made his way up.
Fall off is up to a second and a half, if almost 2 seconds. Ellison, Dwayne, and Friesen have been able to remain at the front, and that's what they're going to want to do as this thing continues to go green. We're at lap 24, coming to 25. Pit stops is about 6 to 8 laps away as LJ Toledo continues to lead, but here comes the 54 of Nate Rogers. As with the DGR KBM merger occurring over the off-season, the 54 and the 51 will be what's left. The 51 from KBM and the 54 from DGR. It's unknown with Tringali and Nate Rogers leaving Red Bull if they will be back to drive this 54 truck part-time or if they will find a part-time op somewhere else. As the top 3 are starting to break away as Ellison's passing Friesen for 4th.
Definitely some questions surrounding DGR and KBM with that merger and who's going to drive. But back to the action, we didn't even mention this. You mentioned pit road earlier. We've seen some pit road shenanigans this year, and with only 2 races to go before the finale, this is probably the most pivotal pit stop of the year for a lot of these teams in the chase. We'll see what happens as Nate looking underneath.
And this pit exit is sketchy. You can look at the apron right there. That first lane is banked, and then after that it's flat. And if you come out of pit road side by side with somebody, it has gotten sketchy in the past. We have had accidents occur coming out of pit road. And that could bring out a caution right in the middle of a pit cycle.
And we've seen it at places like Pig Stadium, Charlotte, where if you took the overcut, the gamble, even with the longer tires, you get that right caution, you can lap the whole field or very much of it. But we'll see if someone plays that 33-34 maybe stretches it out versus the 30-31 that we're going to see in a couple laps.
As Nate Rogers will make a move for the lead, and Vince, I would think with the amount of tire wear, you'd probably want to pit as late as you can because it's still a full fuel run to the end.
Right.
And you want the fresher tires at the end of the run.
Right, for sure. I think that's it. I think the fresher tires going to come in clutch. We've seen even in Digital Storm Cup, remember Dillon Young at Charlotte, the playoff race. He took the undercut, had a great lead, but then they caught him at the end. So we'll see. Someone's going to play the undercut, but it's only going to be a short-term game versus the long-term strategy of the overcut.
And we are single file now, and you can just see how spread out the field is here on lap 30. That's 42nd place is almost 7 seconds behind the leader. And Nate Rogers getting challenged by LJ Toledo. And Friesen was looking under Markle, but Ellison's going to make the move. And wow, that could have been dangerous as Ellison lifts. Friesen makes the move on Markle for third. As we are in the window here at lap 31.
One thing to note there, you saw Nate with the outside line. We talked about how that could start prevailing. He just had a great run on the top. And I guess when the tires wear, momentum starts to pick up when you have enough of a draft.
And I think if LJ had had his draft partner in third, Michael Markle, still right behind him off the corner, he could have made something happen, but Markle and everyone else moved to the top, and I think Friesen is the first one poking his nose down here, and that is indeed the case. So Friesen will go with the route of undercutting. Michael Markle is down. Hillary Sanchez, Logan Gentry. As a kind of small group here for the first group. As actually, no, we had people pit a lap before. Jesse Turner and Donovan Cage came down pit road. But Turner appears to maybe have a problem. He is still in his pit stall.
Maybe contact or just a possible bad entry in. As here's the second group.
Nate Rogers will lead him down. Ellison enters third, Wayne fourth. That's going to be crucial for their race success. As seeing no signs of anyone staying out another lap. So, with that in mind, is this really a one-stop race if these guys can only go 32 laps? As here at lap 33, it's 33 to go. I think they can stretch it that extra lap. This big group right here can definitely stretch it that extra lap, but the Cage and Turner who pit on lap 30, I don't know. And then the group that pit on 31, I don't know even more. As Nate Rogers will lose the lead, LJ Toledo will come out first. And now we'll see how much the undercut works for Friesen. There he goes. And that's that 3 seconds.
We'll get that back up when the tires start to wear. Donovan Cage, obviously that did not work for him. He stuck with his big pack.
Well, Cage pit another full lap earlier. Someone is still on pit road, and that is the 87 of Henry Sanford with problems. So Sanford's playoff woes continues. He's already been eliminated, but a tough break as my laptop is dying. And that explains the frame lag I saw earlier. Vince, are you there, sir? I believe we might have lost Vince Freeze. Anyway, to the race lead, Carter Friesen holds it by about a second and a half as he's trying to put Cole Baker a lap down. Now I see the problem we have. I have lost connection Wi-Fi wise. And now it is just me. So technical difficulties taking out my co-commentator. Will leave me by myself to the race's end. So Friesen undercut these guys back here. So did Donovan Cage. And right now James Ellison is the man in key position. Cage with 2 lap older tires compared to the 48. Henry Sanford still on pit road. LJ Toledo, Michael Markle looking for a win today, perhaps to help them in the battle for 13th. Michael Markle getting the win at Talladega, looking for another win here today. As they continue the race behind Carter Friesen. As Cole Baker trails behind him. Terrible stop for the 11. Sam Young has had an issue with pit road. He is in 39th. Andrew Rich, 37th. That's 3 drivers in the playoffs with bad runs here today. Yael Carrillo in 30th. As the field is extremely spread out now, as Henry Sanford has gotten back onto the racetrack. Keith Rich, 22nd. Friesen in the lead, Ellison 4th, Dwayne in 11th. And that is where our playoff drivers stand here on lap 40 of 65. Dwayne will pass Toby McCoy for 10th. As Nate Rogers' poor stop dropped him down to 8th, make it 9th, as these guys are actually out of the draft. Donovan Cage's tire wear starting to come in. As Gentry challenging for the lead. He's got to get by Cole Baker first. So he'll make the move underneath the 11. That is the lap car of Cole Baker. Gentry trying to get by. Now he's going to have help from Michael Markle. That should make things easier with draft. And Gentry will get by the 11. 23 laps to go here at Atlanta. Can Carter Friesen hold on for the win? Or will one of those raging trucks behind who pit a lap later get to him? Can Friesen make it on fuel is another big question. And Ellison will make it 3 wide. He's looking for third. And trying to take it from Michael Markle as now LJ Toledo peeks underneath the 45 for position. Ellison will make the move on Gentry for second place. And he is not quite to his inside. He'll have to fall in line here in third. Now Gentry's making the move on Friesen. Ellison peeks out, gives him a little help. That'll help him make the move into turn 3. And put the 97 of Logan Gentry, who we mentioned is in danger of not being a team next season, to the race lead. Gentry comes into the race today 35th in the points. And a win for this race team would be huge. Ellison in second. Friesen's tires showing their age. LJ Toledo now looking for third on the 0-2 machine. Jeremiah Dwayne up to 8th place. And there's the move by Ellison at 19 to go. Ellison peeking his nose ahead, looking for the race lead, and he'll take it on corner exit. Ellison's statistics this season: the win at Bristol Dirt, 6 top 5s and 9 top 10s. Looking for that second win and first on a paved racetrack. But LJ Toledo behind is hungry. Michael Markle is hungry as well. as I believe Hillary Sanchez is on the same set of tires as Gentry and Friesen. So right now, this race appears to be down to the 48, 52, and 45. As LJ Toledo underneath Gentry for second place. Friesen holding on to fourth for now, but we'll see how long his tires will last as they continue the race for 8th place behind them. That is not going to help them catch this main pack. As they're catching the 3 and the 29, who continue to do battle for 39th. Henry Sanford 5 laps down after some kind of pit woes. There's Gene Sanford in the 8, just outside the top 10. As Henry Sanford is running a couple tenths faster a lap due to his tire difference. And that is all corner speed for Henry. See, down to about 161 is Jack James, and Henry Sanford running still about 167. So the 87 could play a factor if he gets up to the leaders somehow. So we look outside the top 10 here. Baranowskis under fight with teammate Dylan Thomas for 13th. As they begin to draft up to the pack, that is a road to a potential top 10. Gene Sanford 12th, Rhodes 11th, McCoy 10th, Nate Rogers 9th, and Dwayne in 8th. As now Hillary Sanchez, Donovan Cage, they're starting to falter back from this pack in the corner. As Gentry is passed back LJ Toledo for second place, and that is what Ellison wants to see. That is going to help him out. But now LJ right back to the inside with a move on the 97. Friesen trying to get under the 11, but the tire difference is showing despite Baker a lap down. When Markle's going to make a move there on Friesen as Friesen tries to get under Cole Baker. This is not going to happen. There, the tire difference is showing right there between Baker and Friesen. As Donovan Cage has been able to hold his own up here despite pitting a full lap earlier than Friesen and 2 laps earlier than the 45 of Michael Markle. Fastest lap on the race goes to Elijah Gordon, a 29.986. Only he and Michael Markle have run a lap time under a 30.0. As now Sanchez with a run will make the move for 6th. Tire wear starting to kick in here again at 12 to go as LJ Toledo is chasing after James Ellison. Cole Baker's tires have come around. He was lapped before, but now he might be able to unlap himself. Looking at the leaderboard again as we hit 10 to go. Your playoff drivers. First place, James Ellison. 5th place, Carter Friesen. 8th place, Jeremiah Dwayne. Nobody from 11th to 20th. Keith Rich, 22nd. Andrew Rich, 38th. Sam Young, 39th. Cole Baker, 41st. Bad runs today for those drivers. Pensacola will be quite interesting. And James Ellison does not want to be a part of that mess. He wants the win. 9 laps to go at Atlanta. Can he get it done? Cole Baker gets by LJ Toledo. That opens the door for Logan Gentry to fight for second. Toledo trying to hold him off. That's allowing Michael Markle to make a charge. Now, will they go 3 wide? The survey says no. And Baker is drafting away with James Ellison. Michael Markle again trying to get draft to Gentry to get by LJ Toledo. As this racing is allowing the top 2 to pull away. Friesen now is getting the run. He's going to make a move on Markle. Trying to get some extra points. 5th to 4th, a 3-point difference. As all Sanchez and Cage can do right now is hold the draft. And now we're going to find out who can make it to the end on fuel and who cannot. As we're approaching lap 60. LJ falls in line behind Gentry. Now he's going to make the move again for second. To the inside he goes. And he'll take the position. We're coming to 5 laps to go. We're going to start watching someone like Donovan Cage here. He would be the first one to come down. He was the first to come down earlier with Jesse Turner. Turner running in 33rd because he had issues on his pit stop. But the top 7 are single file. As now Nate Rogers and crew are starting to close the distance. But Ellison is gone from the help of Cole Baker. And the only thing that would hurt him right now is if this 11 truck makes a move. 4 laps to go at Atlanta. No signs of drivers pitting just yet. It's been a roller coaster season for the Junior Motorsports driver of James Ellison. But could that change today? Could the momentum swing? The hot streak we saw earlier this season, could that be back if he can get the win here at Atlanta? Still no signs of anyone pitting as we come to 3 to go. And LJ Toledo is not closing the distance. Tire wear has really kicked in now. Sam Young trying to gain a few extra positions before this thing is over as Bradley Ream will pit. He cannot make it to the end. And neither can Johnny Gardner. Oh, and Carter Friesen's coming down. Michael Markle, Donovan Cage, they're short on fuel. And the caution's out at 2 to go. And that will end the race. And I see no skid marks anywhere on the track. What on earth is this caution for? And there it is, skid marks into turn 3. Ellison did not take it apparently. He's still racing. As he takes the white flag. Everyone from LJ Toledo back had hit it. And this will scramble the finishing results. As now Ellison has put some drivers a lap down. If he gets back to the checkered flag before they can unlap themselves if they were not at the line at the point of caution, this will really scramble the order. And what a disaster move by Friesen coming to pit road right as the caution flag came out. Unbelievable. And Friesen has actually blown the motor. Problems for Friesen. Not sure if that is related to the accident. I don't think it was. We saw him enter pit road clearly. But under caution, James Ellison will get his second win of 2020 and lock himself into the Final Four at Texas with a win here at Atlanta in the NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. LJ Toledo will finish in second. Logan Gentry will get third. Hillary Sanchez fourth. Nate Rogers fifth. Cody Rhodes sixth. Jeremiah Twain seventh. Toby McCoy eighth. Dylan Thomas ninth. And Casey Nanica will have a 10th place run. Nanico needs a finish like that. His season has been abysmal. Looking at the official results now, Keith Rich will get up to 15th from the people who had the pit. Yael Carrillo 20th. Sam Young 31st. Andrew Rich 32nd. As Mendez will end up, or not Mendez, Friesen will end up finishing 41st after running in the top 5 all race. Wow, unbelievable. So Ellison is locked into the final 4. Before we show you your point standings, let's take a look at what brought out the caution flag. Here we are looking at the cause of the caution to end the race. And it looks like Greg Torres might have been coming to pit road, or no, maybe just a bad dive bomb by Benjamin Ice. They make contact that spins Torres out up the track. Jack James nowhere to go. He keeps it straight. Mendez has nowhere to go, but Torres is around and the caution flag is out. And just like that, the race is over. Did anyone else make contact with the 20 truck? And it don't think so. Logan York was a decent amount of gap back, and then the only other truck behind was Peter Onjak. So indeed, no one hits the 20, but what happened to Carter Friesen? So he's going to take fuel only here, I believe. And then he just comes out of pit road. We'll speed this up. And right there, it just lets go coming out of pit road. So a tough break for Carter Friesen. But again, James Ellison is your winner. He's locked into the final 4 at Texas. 3 positions remain up for grabs as we head to Pensacola next week for some super speedway action. Things are bound to get crazy. I'll see you guys then.